Hey there, today is a mat Pilates multi-level class. I'll be offering progressions, so just make sure that you stick with the level that's appropriate for your body at this moment. Let's get started. We're going to start down on our back. All you need is a mat today and maybe a block to put under your head. Okay, so we're just going to start down on the mat and let's just kind of relax for a moment. Let your shoulders open, and I want you just to lie down and close your eyes and just take some kind of non-Pilates breaths. Just take some nice deep breaths, thinking of expanding the belly and then drawing the belly button towards the spine. Now, as you're doing that, it's just time to kind of reset and really start to think about what your intentions are for this class. So let's think about first where the lumbar spine is, that lower spine. There should be a nice natural curve in that lumbar spine. You want to feel that the tailbone is heavy on the mat, and right above that is the sacrum. So you want to feel that sacrum is also heavy on the mat. And then the back starts to arch slightly up off of the mat. And just start to breathe nice and gently. Think about the muscles that are around the spine relaxing. And then the spine starts to go back down towards the mat as it goes towards the mid-back. A lot of times we tend to arch in the mid-back, so think about letting the bottom back ribs drop to the mat. Can you relax the muscles sort of across from it, right below the rib cage on the front side? And then kind of draw the two sides of the ribs in a little closer together to gently pull the bottom ribs down towards the mat. And see if you can settle yourself a little bit deeper into the mat. The spine that's between your shoulder blades, allow that to still stay in contact with the mat. Let the shoulder blades spread on the mat. Let the back of the shoulders open and the collarbones open. So maybe your shoulders were slightly rounded forward. So let's open those shoulders up. Think of the base of the neck, and then at the base of the neck, the spine starts to curve gently away from the mat again. Allow your jaw muscles to relax. Allow your eyes to relax, your cheeks to relax. And try to take any tension out of the back of the head. And then just start to do some very slight engagement of your abdominals to try to take an inhale, putting a little bit more positive tension into the abdominal muscles as you take an inhale. Just think of widening through the back of the rib cage. And exhale, try to draw the two sides of the ribs closer together. Feel the lifting of the pelvic floor. And as you inhale, you want to feel that kind of descending of the pelvic floor and the widening of the rib cage. So now we're starting to focus on our Pilates breath. So let's start to add a little bit of movement here. So let's just even gently open your eyes and reach your arms up over your chest. And we'll just go into a little protraction, retraction. So protraction is opening the shoulder blades. So glide the shoulder blades off the mat without bringing your hands closer together, and glide your shoulder blades into the mat. So we're really starting at the foundation, but we're going to build and make this class as challenging as you want it to be. And so again, if you want to stay at that basic essential level 1, stay there, but there will be some more intermediate work as well. So again, open the shoulder blades. Try not to open them so wide that you start to take tension in your neck, and then draw the shoulder blades together and closer to the floor. Now just find a nice neutral position. Let's just do one arm. So let's do the right arm protracting and retracting. Protracting and retracting. One more time, protract and retract, and then just find that neutral position of the right shoulder blade, and now the left shoulder opens and closes. And maybe you find a difference between the two shoulder blades. Usually we don't move completely symmetrically. And after that third one, just plug that shoulder blade down and back. Now, keeping the palms facing each other and keep the bottom ribs down, you reach your arms kind of diagonally towards the wall behind you. So don't go so low that your ribs start to pop up. really want to keep your hands so that you can still see them in your peripheral, not in your peripheral, but you should be able to see them in your sight. Now we're going to elevate the shoulder blades. So think of lifting your shoulders towards your ears and draw the shoulder blades away from your ears. So again, lift the shoulder blades towards the ears. Exhale, draw them away from the ears. One more time, lift the shoulder blades towards the ears and bring the shoulder blades down. Reset, find that neutral position. Now just one arm. So the right shoulder blade lifts up and draws down. Right shoulder blade lifts up, draws down. One more time. Right shoulder blade lifts and bring it down. Center that shoulder blade. Now the left shoulder blade comes up. So it's going to, as your shoulder blade comes up, kind of the bottom of it sort of upwardly rotates. One more time, lift it up and then bring it back down. So now let's just take the right arm, reach it all the way down to the floor and behind you, and the left hand down by your hip. And we'll just go into arm scissors. So inhale as the arms kind of cross each other and exhale to come back down. So this stuff is pretty simple, but you're isolating and you're really trying to focus on keeping the ribs down. You want to feel sort of a little bit of oblique stability here. And you really want to reach long through the arms so that your elbow isn't bending. And maybe you touch the floor, maybe you don't. And just do one more each side. And now let's keep the arms so that they're over the chest. Let's go into imprints. So remember, the imprint is abs only. Try not to clench the glutes. So think of letting the pelvis drop back and then use your abdominals to pull the pelvis back a little bit more. Try to release the glutes. Let them relax. There'll be work for them later, and then release back into neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. So just start with your breath. Exhale, and then draw the belly button to the spine. Pull the hips towards the ribs. You're not jamming the lower back into the mat. Inhale to come back to neutral. One more time. Exhale to go into that imprint. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. See if you can bring your left leg into tabletop. Now feel where your tension is. So make sure that when you lift your other leg that you don't start to feel more tension in your upper body. So you should feel more tension in the abdominals because it's harder to hold that position. Now let's go into our toe taps. So let's do left foot taps down and come back up. We're going slow. Use your full big exhale to tap down. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale to come back up. Nice and slow. So really still focusing on foundational movements here. You could have your hands down by your side. And you could always keep one foot on the floor if you find you're losing that imprinted position. And tap down. Now bring both legs back into tabletop. We're going to go into dead bug. So we'll reach the left arm overhead as the right foot taps down. And then so adding a little coordination. Then the left arm reaches as the right leg taps down, or whichever one you didn't already do, and just keep alternating. You could flex your feet if you tend to cramp, and just keep going. Tap down. Now the arm that's not moving, you want to keep it not moving, so it's reaching for the ceiling. Like I said, a little coordination. Again, we're still warming up. Let's do one more on each side. And tap, and then bring your hands up overhead. Place your hands down, and then see if you can just bring the heels towards your sit bones and lower your feet down onto the floor. So let's go into a bridge. If you have something under head, you may or may not have to take it out from underneath your head. So let's go back into your imprint. Rock the pelvis back and roll your spine up. Now we've got the glutes involved, but we're just using it for a stretch, and roll it back down. Again, inhale, find neutral position. As you exhale, use your abdominals first, then fire up the glutes and roll your spine out. Reach the knees towards the wall that's in front of you and roll the spine back down. And let's just do one more. Take an inhale. Exhale, peel the spine up. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale at the top and exhale to roll it all the way back down towards the floor. Good. So let's go ahead and just grab one or both legs, roll yourself up to a sitting position. We're going to go into our half roll back series. So the legs can be together or slightly apart. Knees are flexed and reach the arms forward. Take an inhale to sit nice and tall on your sit bones. And then exhale, you're going to flex over the legs. Then scoop the pelvis back and keep the flexion in your spine as you roll back. Now you're going to kind of clutch the hands in or clutch the arms in. So not clutching that you're really flexing through the upper spine, just bringing your hands in towards your chest. Hold it here. Then reach the arms forward, stretch over your legs, keep the flexion in your spine and roll it back and bring those fingertips to the sternum. And then one more time, roll it forward. Roll it back, bring the fingers to the sternum. Now we're going to go, right now we're internally rotated with the shoulders. So we're going to pull the elbows towards the rib cage and rotate out. So rotate in, elbows go out. Elbows come in as you rotate the shoulders out. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. Now reach the arms forward. Give yourself a little stretch. Roll it back. Now keep reaching those arms forward, and then we're going to pull the right elbow down towards the floor and rotate a little bit deeper, and then bring it to the center. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring it to the center, just getting a little bit of spinal rotation, like a bow and arrow type of movement. One more on each side. Rotate. Last time, rotate. Bring your arms forward. Give yourself a nice little stretch. And still staying in that flexed position. So we're really keeping kind of these muscles in this shortened position to strengthen them. Hold it here. Now let's go back into that clutch position. We'll take the left elbow, bring it back, and imagine you're like stirring a big pot and reach the arm forward. So now we're going to that spinal rotation and we're moving the arm. Again, rotate, bring it to the center, scoop forward, reach over the legs. Roll it back. Abs should be feeling this. We're just moving the arms. So remember, stir the pot. So you pull the right elbow back, reach the arm back and forward. So the elbow bends, you reach to straighten and keep the arm straight as it comes forward. One more time, reach it back and forward, and then come up and over your legs. Now go ahead and stack the spine back up and we'll move along. So let's roll the spine down. I want you to really control the roll. So roll down, use your abdominals first, then the glutes, and roll it down. See if you can do it nice and slowly all the way down so you're not speeding through any movements. Once you get all the way down to the ground, reach the arms up overhead. Just going to keep one arm reaching and just turn towards that long arm so we end up on our stomach, just transitioning to a prone position. Okay, so we're going to do a modified or really just a different variation of breaststroke. So you'll bring your fingers kind of intertwined like this so that one hand is not on top of the other, the fingers are intertwined. And just kind of bring your head, your forehead, so it's not resting on the hands, but it's just kind of hovering off the hands. Now press, kind of think of pressing the bottom of the pubic bone down to the mat, pull the belly in, glutes are engaged to take the tension out of the lower back. Now, so from here, we're going to keep the left hand on the ground, come into a little bit of extension, but bring the right hand and elbow with you. Just going into that little breaststroke position, but just with one arm. And then when you lower down, we're going to switch to the other side. Left elbow lifts the forehead, right arm stays down, but try not to push into the floor with the right arm. Lower down, let's do that 2 more times. Lift, inhale, exhale to lower. Keep the legs active, the feet stay on the ground. Inhale, lift, exhale to lower. One more time on each side, lift and lower. And then take the left arm with you and lower. So now take the right arm with you, lift it up, pull the right elbow towards the rib cage, and then extend the arm behind you like you're reaching back, but you're not side bending. So you've got to use that left side to stabilize. Then bend your elbow, bring your hand back under your head, lower it down. Same thing on the other side. Left arm lifts up with your head. Pull the left elbow towards the rib, reach it. Reach your hand like you're trying to touch your heel without side bending. Bend the elbow, bring it back and down. So let's alternate 2 more times. So inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Inhale, pull it back in. And exhale, down. Let's make this actually the last one. So lift, bend the elbow, pull or reach for the heel. Bend your elbow, bring it back underneath your forehead, lower it back down. So now let's lift both hands with the head. So you're hovering. You're still pulling the belly button up off the ground. Now from here, you'll lift the left elbow towards the ceiling as the right elbow drops down, and that's a rotation of the spine, small rotation. Inhale to the center, exhale, go to the other side, like a little airplane in the sky. One more time on each side. Exhale, inhale to the center, exhale to the other side, inhale to the center, exhale, lower down. Now you're going to bring your hands by your hips and just kind of relax. So think of kind of opening the back so your shoulders roll forward. Now you're going to roll the shoulders back and at the same time rotate the legs out and think of lifting the legs, reaching your fingers towards your heels, and then just go back to your start position, bringing your legs back to parallel and rotating the shoulders forward. So again, rotate the shoulders back, rotate the legs out so the legs get a little wider as you reach for the heels, reach to the crown of the head, and then rotate the shoulders in, rotate the legs back to parallel, come back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale to lift, rotation, shoulders and hips. And then lower it back down, back to parallel with the legs, internally rotated with the arms. And lift. Find that rotation, shoulder joints and hip joints. Bring it back down. Last one, rotate it. And then bring it all the way back down. Place your hands under your shoulders, push yourself up, and give yourself a little cat stretch. So just give it a nice little stretch. So, or actually I'm doing a shell stretch. So you're sitting back on your heels and pulling the belly button to the spine. So it's an active stretch of the spine. And then we're going to come down onto our back again. So we're going to do a sort of a pendulum single thigh stretch combination. The head will stay down here, which is nice. So keep the neck down on the floor, head down on the floor. So bring your hands, actually let's bring your hands out to the side and turn your palms up. So from here, go into that imprint. Now think about as if you're going to lift your arms up off the ground, but they're still touching the ground so that you're not bracing with your arms. And then lift one leg up and lift the other leg up. So you stay open through the shoulders. Squeeze the knees together and we're going to go into our pendulum. So knees stay over the hips as we turn towards the right. The left shoulder blade stays down. Inhale to exhale to pull it through the center. You're actually going to inhale to rotate and exhale to come back to the center. And let's do that again. So you'll feel when you're doing pendulum, you might feel like you're creeping down the mat a little bit, and that's pretty normal. That pelvis is kind of walking down the mat. I'm just alternating side to side. Don't go too fast. Again, use your breath to dictate the speed of the movements. Slow moving. Now let's come back to center. Now we're going to do a single thigh stretch, but the head is going to stay down. So reach the right leg straight out and bring it in. Left leg straight out, lightening up the weight on your hands. So you could even hover your arms off the ground, but when we do our twists, you probably want to keep them gently on the ground. And reach, that's your last one, and bring the knees back to tabletop. Now we're going to combine those two. So you're going to twist to the right, going into that half pendulum. So keep the left shoulder blade down. Then the right leg extends long into that single leg stretch. And then you bend, bring it to the center, and then do the same thing on the other side. So left leg extends. Oh, something in my eye. Bring it back in and bring it back to center. Let's do that again. So twist to the right, extend the right leg, bend, and bring it back to the center. Twist to the left, extend the left leg, bend, bring it back in. One more time, twist, extend the right leg, reach, bend, bring it back to the center. Other side, twist, reach, bring it back to the center, all the way. So let's add on. So we twist. We do that single thigh stretch. So we're going to the right. We extend the right leg and then extend the left leg up to the ceiling as much as your knee can straighten. Then you bend both knees to center. Go to the other side. Left leg straighten, right leg extends up towards the ceiling diagonally. Bring it back to the center. Over to the right. Extend into that scissor position. Pull it in. Twist to the left. Reach it long. We got one more on each side. Go to the right. Extend. Bring it back to the center. And extend. Now stay here. Bring the right leg straight up to the ceiling as you bring your left leg down onto the floor. And then we're going to go into circles. So you could do this with one or both knees bent. We're going to circle that right leg around. Just in our single leg circle, you inhale for half the circle, exhale for the other half. And again. One more time. And then switch. Big circle. 3, 2, and 1. Reach it up. You're going to turn back into your scissor. Pull the knees back into your tabletop. Back to center. Go to the other side. Do your scissor. So you're going to the right now. And then bring the left leg down and bring that the right leg straight up to the ceiling. Excuse me, reverse that. So the left leg is reaching up towards the ceiling. Now we circle towards the midline and around. Towards the midline and around. And again. One more time. So we're doing about 4 in each direction. Other side. So the leg should be relatively straight. Again, you could do this with the knee bent if the hamstring or hip flexor just doesn't like that position. Now reach the leg up and then bend both knees in towards the chest. Give them a little hug. And then see if you can just use a little bit of momentum to roll yourself all the way up. And we're going to go into some spine twists. It's a different variation of spine twist. So let's sit right on top of the sit bones. All right. So your spine is straight. So try not to be rolled back in the pelvis. So if your knees are too far toward your chest, you're probably going to be rolling back. So a little bit of length in those legs. So from here, let's reach the arms straight out. Shoulders are down and back. So now let's take the left arm and almost like you're trying to peel the skin off your arm and pull it across the chest and then out to the side or really to the back and then put it back. Okay. I know that's not the best visual, but that's the best way I can think to describe it. Let's go to the other side. So you're going to peel the skin off your left arm, reach the left arm forward like you're trying to assist, and reach the right arm back, and then you're going to put it back on. So we're going to add on. So as we twist and we peel with the left arm, so the left arm is moving, you extend the right leg. So let the pelvis move. You're pushing through the right leg, and then slowly bring it all the way back in and bend your knee. Do the same thing on the other side. So push with the left leg and then pull it all the way back in. One more time on each side. So twist and reach and bend the elbow and come all the way back to center. Last one, twist and reach, bend your elbow and come all the way back to center. Okay, so now we're going to come up into a little crescent lunge. So let's just transition so that we're on our knees. Come into that all fours position. So we'll do a little combination movement. We're going to do a leg pull front prep and a crescent lunge. So let's have the knees underneath the hips. The toes are tucked forward. Hands are right under the shoulder. Squeeze the knees together. And then without really changing anything other than lifting your knees off the ground and just let them hover. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. So take an inhale. Maintain a neutral position as you lift. So try not to lose your neutral. Lower back down. 1 more time. Take an inhale. Exhale to lift. Hold it here. Now you can either stay with the knees hovering or walk the feet back into a plank position. So let's take the right leg, lift it up, point your right foot, flex your left, and then return. Same thing on the other side. Lift, point flexed, in, and return. 1 more on each side. Lift, point flex, in, return. Now left leg lifts, point flex, in, and return. Now hold it, keep holding the left foot up here and see if you can step your left foot between your hands, coming into that crescent lunge. So from here, reach the hands back, lift up overhead, and then reach the arms forward. So we do that same bow and arrow, but we're just going to do it to the right side. So left arm reaches forward because the left leg is forward. Peel the skin off your left arm as you rotate and then come back to the center. I'm just kidding. We are going to go to the other side. So now peel the skin off your right arm and twist, because this feels nice to twist in this direction as well. Pull it back on. Just 1 more on each side. Twist and return. Other side, twist and return. Reach the arms up. Place your hands down to frame your foot. Let's take that left foot, bring it back, hold it. Now, left leg lifts up, point flex, bring it in and down. Remember, you could just do the knee hover. Lift, point flex, bring it in and down. One more on each side, or you don't have to do the lift. Point flex, in and down. Last one, lift, point flex. Now, let's step the right foot between the hands. Big step. See if you can do it all in one swoop. I know that's hard. Then from here, reach your hands back, come up overhead, and then reach the arms forward. So we're going to twist to the left, hands together, and pull the skin off the arm. Reach the arm forward as you reach your left arm back. And then you slowly come back to center. Other side, peel it off and reach. Bring it back to center. Other side. So we're just one more on each side. And pull it back. Last time. And pull it back. Reach the arms up. Frame your foot. Walk your foot back. Hold it just for one more little plank. Bring your knees down. Sit back on your heels and give yourself a little stretch. Walk your hands to the right, hips to the left. Really walk the left arm a little bit further forward to feel that stretch to the left side, elevating that left shoulder. Then we're going to walk the hands to the other side and do the same thing on the other side, really reaching that right arm forward. Okay, so then you're going to lie down on your back, and we're going to do a bicycle variation. So normally, bicycle, the way I teach it, is your crisscross, right? But this is a different variation of bicycle. So it's typically what we do inverted, but we're not inverting. So place your hands behind your head, curl the head and shoulder blades up, pull the belly button to the spine. Lift your legs up into a tabletop position. And now with the bicycle, you're going to reach your left leg up towards the ceiling and think of like a scooping with the right foot, like you're trying to pick something off the floor with the right foot, scoop, and then you bend the left and scoop. So at one point, both legs are straight, then you scoop. Both legs are straight, and then you scoop. Good, and keep going. Now, let's reach the arms up overhead and keep doing it. And let's see if we can add a little arm circle. Reach the arms up overhead. So you're moving the arms and legs at the same time, just a little coordination. Trying to remember to straighten both legs at one point. Last time, each side. And then just scoop both knees in towards the chest. And we'll go right into shoulder bridge. So release the legs. Heels are coming towards the sit bones. Let's just do a couple of spine rolls. Hands by your side or hip rolls. Spinal articulations. Just like we did in the beginning. Rock the pelvis back. Peel your spine up. Open through the front of the hips. And roll it back down. 2 more times. Take an inhale. Exhale. Nose point straight up to the ceiling. Try to open the front of the shoulders as you roll up. Roll it back down. Imagine you're holding something between the knees so the knees don't start to drift away from each other. Last one. Roll it up. Hold it. And roll it back down. Okay. Right ankle goes across the left knee. So this is our figure 4 bridge. Right ankle over the left knee. Try to get your hips. So sometimes it might be helpful to keep your hands on your hips to start. So hips as level as possible. Fire your left glutes and lift your hips up. So you're trying to work the left glute and hip to try to keep the right hip up. All right. So you can either keep your hands there or just relax your arms by your side. Lower your hips back down. Try to keep opening that right knee. Squeeze and lift. Open that right knee. One more time. Down and lift. Now, we're going to take that right leg, reach it to the ceiling, but keep the knee turned out, and then bring it the ankle right back down. Lift. Bring the ankle right back down to figure 4. Last one. Lift and bring it down. Now lift the leg. Turn the leg to a parallel position. Lower the leg till you're knee to knee, and then lift it back up. Flex your foot to go down. Lift it back up. Last one. Flex the foot to go down. Lift it back up. How's that neck? Hopefully it's not tense. You're going to cross the ankle over the knee and lower the hips back down. Now grab behind the left thigh. You could lift your head and just go into that figure 4 stretch. Try not to lean to the right. Left leg extends up towards the ceiling and try to pull a little bit more. So it's a hamstring stretch on the left side, hip stretch on the right. And then just bend the knee, place your foot down, undo that cross. Now we have the other side. So again, when you start, put your hands so the fingertips are on the pubic bone and the heel of your hands are on your hip bone, so that you feel when you cross the ankle over the knee that you're not tipping towards the left. All right, try to keep the pelvis as neutral as possible. So if you tighten your hip, it might be a little harder to do that. Okay, so you could keep your hands there if you'd like, just don't press, and lift using the right glutes and lower down. Or you can relax your arms by your side. Squeeze the right glutes, lift and lower. One more time, lift up and lower down. So let's add on. So as you lift, remember you're pushing your knee out to the side, then keep the leg rotated in that lateral rotation as you lift the toes up to the ceiling and lower it back down. Lift, lowering just your heel, the hip stays lifted. Last one, lift it up. Then you're going to turn the knee to parallel, lower your foot down, flex the foot, lift up. Flex your foot and lift and point. Last one, flex, lower, lifted, point, turn the leg out, ankle on the thigh. How are those hips? Lift them up and then lower your hips all the way back down. Grab behind the right thigh, trying not to rock to the left, and just feel that stretch through the left hip. Extend that right leg into your hamstring stretch and just give it that nice stretch. Good. So now we're going to bend both knees. I'm going to have you turn onto your right side. So we're going to go into a side bend series. So you want your hips a little bit behind you so that the elbow kind of intersects the upper thigh, so the elbow is not in line with the hip. All right. So from here, let's just start in side plank. So in this position, what happens is a lot of times our head wants to lift up here or sag down or reach forward. So make sure that your neck stays in line with the rest of the spine, and then start to just push the bottom ribs away from the floor. So before we even lift the hips, make sure that shoulder girdle is nice and active. The neck stays neutral. Then fire the glutes in the bottom hip and lift up into a modified side bend or side plank, and then lower the hips back down. Both modifications are the same. Again, push the bottom rib away, lift your hips, press the hips forward, and lower it back down. One more time, lift up. Now this is not an easy position, so if you don't want to progress, don't progress. If you're feeling it in your shoulders, you could do the same thing with your hips down. Just stay very active there and you still get a lot of work. Now take that top leg and you're going to reach it long. Take your top arm and reach it long. Hold it here. Now lower your top leg and lift. Lower your top leg and lift. One more time, lower and lift. Now keep the leg slightly lifted, and you're going to bring the elbow to the knee. So you're not changing your spine. You're not flexing. Just bring the elbow to the knee and reach. Elbow to the knee and reach. One more time, elbow to the knee and reach, reach, reach. Try to reach a little further. Maybe go into a little extension here. Then from here, you're just going to lower all the way back down. Use your top hand to push yourself up into a mermaid sit position. Try to get your pelvis as square as possible. It's not going to be square in this position. Take your right arm, or whichever arm is not on the foot side, reach it up towards the ceiling. So you're sitting straight. Now I want you to try to lift your shoulder blade up like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Little bit of tilt in the pelvis. Feel the stretch already. Now add a side bend, but only add the side bend as much as you can without crunching on the side. So just that reaching the shoulder blade up should feel like a good stretch. Nice. Keep holding and stretching. Now from here, see if you can, without using your hands, shift to a kneeling position. Now you're going to take your right foot forward and then see if you can stand up. We're going to do push-ups. I didn't forget about the other side, just in case you're wondering. So standing nice and tall. Bring your hands up overhead. Bring your hands to your thighs. Flex your spine. Nice spine stretch forward. Fingertips towards the toes, walk your hands out. Find your push-up position. You could do modified push-up with your knees on the floor. One set of three breaths in each direction. So it's inhale to go down, 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 exhale, up, up, up. So you're not pulsing, it's fluid movement. Down, 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 and up, up, up. Shoulder blades are pretty still. Down, 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 and up, up, up. Take your right leg, step it forward. Left foot is down. Now I'm spinning over to the other side so that we can do our side bends on the opposite side. All right, so left elbow is down onto the ground and you're on your left hip. So you want to really recruit through the lats here and start to push the bottom ribs away. Stack the shoulders up and get your neck nice and neutral. So make sure that chin, so if you were in a standing position, you wouldn't have your head flexing forward, right? So really stay active here. Remember, option to keep the hip down. Make sure your hips are slightly back, whatever position you're deciding to be in. So exhale, lift those hips up and forward. Inhale to lower down. Active through the shoulder girdle. Exhale, lift hips up and forward and bring it down. Again, exhale, lift, hold it here. Now, reach that top arm straight up by your ear and the top leg lifts. Hold it. Really push the bottom side away from the floor and then we lift the leg up, lower it down. I'm pointing as I go up, flexing as I go down. One more time, lift. Now hold it here. Bend the elbow and the knee. Try to go knee to elbow without flexing the spine and then reach. Knee to elbow and then reach. One more time, knee to elbow, reach. Maybe go into a little extension, bring the leg back and the chest lifted. And then lower the leg, stack the knees. Use your top hand if you'd like to push yourself up so that you're in that mermaid position. Take the left arm, reach it straight up towards the ceiling. So the arm that's away from the feet, it's on the opposite side of the feet. Let your shoulder blade lift up. You're lifting it up. Once you find that, pull the pelvis back a little and start to go into that side bend. Big side bend. Breathe into the side of the ribs here and then slowly come up. So now we're going to come to, oh, whoops, I cheated. No hands. Try to see if you can come up into that kneeling position. No hands. So now we're going to go left leg steps forward, right foot tucks under, and see if you can lift yourself to a standing position. And we have one more set of push-ups. So reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands down on your thighs. Roll down one vertebra at a time, all the way down to touch the toes. Walk your hands out. Heels stay down as long as possible. One more set. Remember, go to the knees if you'd like. I'll do this one on my knees. So inhale, down, 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 nice and fluid. Exhale, up, up, up. So even if you're good at doing push-ups, doing modified allows you to get some more range and a quality movement. Down and up, up, up. One more time. Down, 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 and up, up, up. Then just go ahead, sit back on your heels. Give yourself a shell stretch. Reach those arms forward. Let your shoulder blades elevate. We'll do that side bending shell stretch. So both hands go to the right, hips go to the left. Walk the fingertips, especially the left one, further forward, pulling that left hip back. And let's do the same thing on the other side, reaching that right arm forward, right hip further back. Breathe into the side of the rib. And then bring your hands back to the center. Slowly roll your spine. Start to come up. Place your hands down sort of in front of your knees. Tuck the toes forward. And then see if you can lower the heels down to the ground. Do the best you can. Then keep the hands on the ground. Extend the legs. Feel that stretch through your back. Stay there for a breath or two. Put a little bend in your knees. Roll your spine all the way up. And then from here, just take a nice deep inhale. Exhale to lower the arms all the way back down. Great job, everyone. I will see you in the next workout.